Greetings, my name is Chamomile, and this is an examination of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today, we're looking at the Herios Sector of the 14th Red Tails Command. Herios Sector is at the absolute ass end of the galaxy. It's not just in the Outer Rim, it's also far away from all the major trade routes like the Corellian Run and the Hydean Way. The sector is named after Herios, but as is often the case, that's not because Herios is very important to, actual people. It's an arms depot, so I guess that was the planet that came up most often in Republic government records, but it's got a population of less than 1 million. The thing is, we're so deep into the Outer Rim out here that I'm not even sure what the sector capital is supposed to be. There are 3 species homeworlds in this sector, allegedly, and of the 3, X-Karga is the most developed. The problem is, this is so far into the sticks that I'm not sure any of the 3 are real. X-Karga is allegedly a mining guild planet inhabited by the X-Kargans, a species who are genderless until their 13th birthday, at which point their gender is chosen? Determined randomly? The records aren't clear. X-Karga was supposedly the site of some Clone Wars conflicts, and, allegedly, Anakin Skywalker was even involved in recapturing the planet from the CIS. It's in the general trailing theater where Anakin was mostly active, so that's plausible, but it can't have been much of a battle because it never shows up in general Clone Wars histories, or even ones that focus on Anakin specifically. The second species homeworld is Illarine, home of the Pos Nomen, bulky guys with shovel-shaped jaws. According to the stories, these guys weren't spacefaring until the late Republic era. That would explain why no one's ever heard of them, even though they apparently love going to other planets, exploring wild space, and being pirates. Only a third of them are considered to have full access to galactic standard technology, refreshers with running water and electric lights and stuff, so I guess they've only got one foot in the greater galactic community. They seem like they'd totally be worthy of a sector, and Herios is at the very fringe of the Outer Rim, so maybe this was unincorporated space until the late Republic era, and Illarine is the capital? That's really late in the game for a sector in the slice to be unincorporated, though, even if it is at the very edge of dark space. The third species allegedly native to Herios Sector is the Zybahad Yenyoni, a species from the Zybahad system, and, I would assume, the planet Zybahad, but records don't say. They're some kind of desert people who also have a significant population on Tatooine, and you know what? I don't believe it. I don't think that a species commonly found on Tatooine, the part of the galaxy that historical dramas just absolutely love to shoot on location, is so poorly documented that this is the best illustration we have of them. I think these guys are made up. Also probably made up are the Squibs, blue dog people who allegedly colonized the planet Holodor after their colony ship crashed there while heading somewhere else. Colony ships crashing or making emergency landings on planets other than their intended destination isn't that uncommon. There's 1 million planets in the galaxy, so even with a success rate of 99%, that still means there's 1,000 planets out there colonized on accident. But the Squibs seem like fetish history to me. These guys are made up by furries. Pazov is a Gamorrean colony where, like most Gamorrean colonies, territory is split up between different clans who spend all their time beating the tar out of each other. There's hundreds of planets like this, Gamorrean colonies with a few tens or hundreds of thousands of Gamorreans, split up into clans in and around Galov Sector where their homeworld is. Pazov is only notable because one of the Empire's earliest superweapons picked up some troops there in the second year of the Imperial era, and a bunch of Gamorreans wound up scooped up into its automated defense systems. And that's how a bunch of space pigs with axes took over what was, at the time, the most powerful weapon the Empire ever created. They got taken out like a month later on Belsavis over in the Bosny sector, so this unfortunately was not the beginning of a saga of Gamorreans and a superweapon pillaging the Outer Rim, but it's still kind of funny. Assuming it ever happened, and like everything else in this sector, it's kind of hard to say for sure. The story of the Herios Sector, though? There's a bunch of random, poorly verified stories. A lot of them sound pretty plausible, but it's hard to say for sure if any of it is true. Outer Rim sectors that are away from the main trade routes are like that a lot.